everyone, welcome back to Jades Corner. On this newest edition of the rebooted Fantasy Fight series, we'll see the first rematch of the series between Alpha Peter Hale and Evolved Derek Hale. These two powerful werewolves from Teen Wolf possess incredible powers and abilities that would make a hypothetical fight between them awesome. So join me as we break down the epic battle between these two werewolves regarding strength, speed, agility, durability, endurance, combat experience, and hacks. But before we begin this fight to the death, if you're new here, subscribe, hit that like button, and ring that notification bell to stay up to date on all things supernatural, including these thrilling battles. Now let's see who wins in an all-out brawl between the Alpha and the legendary Evolved Werewolf.
The world's fiercest fighters await! Will you be the last warrior standing? This is it! The fight we've all been waiting for! Anything can happen now! Which of these two challengers will walk away a champion? Are you ready? Let's get started! Fight!
Now for strength, it's going to be a tie. We're going to split these into two different strength talking points. We're going to talk about the human form and then their beast form, since they both technically both have a human form and they both have a beast form. With Alpha Peter, it's the monstrous one, and with Derek Hale, it's the more natural wolf looking form. So for human form, we're going to give it to Derek. Now the reason why I give it to Derek in the human form category, or human form portion of this category, is because Derek was able to break a berserker mask and killed one in 4 seconds. He nearly one-shotted Kate Argent, barely leaving her alive, which is impressive because she had beaten True Alpha Scott literally the episode prior. Now I know there's a lot of people who like to go back and forth and argue with me saying, well, she brought a berserker there with him, but we still saw him take an L to Kate, so I'm not gonna just deny that just for the sake of leaving that out this video. He also just has more impressive strength feats than Peter in his human form, who was only able to fight weaker opponents, such as in a weaker version of Beta Scott and Beta Derek. And in season 3, Deucalion dismisses Peter as a crazy psycho and implies that he's not an issue for him to deal with, which is not a very good look for Alpha Peter in my honest opinion. Now Derek does also have downside to him as well, such as in Teen Wolf the movie when he struggles to fight freaking Allison Argent of all people, which is also a very bad look. But at least in this case, he has the upper hand most of the time, even though he shouldn't be struggling with her at all. Still a bad look. Not a good look for either of them, but I think that Peter's is slightly worse because we know just how strong Deucalion is. And Jeff Davis, even though he clearly doesn't give a shit about the canon, I'll play the scene here where he literally admits it.
You know, I always come first from the thought of what makes for a great story. And if it makes for a great story and bends the rules a little bit, I'm okay with it. I'm not a big canon traditionalist. I think you should toss canon out if you want to. And I think the creator especially should get to decide. Now, when it's something like turning the Force into midichlorians, that's not great. But they readjusted. So if I do something like that in Teen Wolf, hopefully we'll readjust down the line. But really, I'm not that afraid of it. You know, canon is great and it provides rules for the world, but sometimes you have to break the rules. Sometimes you have to be a little laissez-faire with them. Just tell a great story. Be adventurous. It's Teen Wolf. We like to do crazy shit.
Said that Deucalion is stronger than Alpha Peter, but do we really want to take his word in current day 2024? I'm not sure that we do. Yeah, there's going to be a tie between them.
Who will emerge a champion?
For speed, it's definitely going to Peter here. Peter mainly used his beast form to travel and fight, and he's naturally faster in this form and is only second to the beast in travel speed and second to Deucalion in close quarters combat and with that type of fighting speed. In his human form, he moves a little bit slower, but is still so fast he seems like a blur when moving, such as in this scene in the season 1 finale Codebreaker. I'm going to show it right here real quick. And for Derek, he's about average when it comes to fighting speed. He moves faster than other werewolves, but that doesn't really help his case here when Peter in his human and beast form moves as fast as a blur. In close quarters combat, Peter definitely has the upper hand.
What will happen now?
Now, in terms of agility, it's going to be another tie once again. Peter in his beast form is way more agile than Derek naturally, and it's not even remotely debatable in my opinion. And Derek is more agile in his human form than Peter is, and I don't think that's even remotely debatable either. So in this category, we're going to give these two a tie.
Will the tide of battle turn?
For durability, we're gonna give them a tie once again because Peter has the same weaknesses that Derek does, with them being werewolves and having to follow under the same rule set. And he also died to fire from a Molotov cocktail, so he can take damage, but he's not very durable. Same goes for Derek. He has the same weaknesses as Peter, as I just mentioned with him, but he also died to Parrish's Hellfire in Teen Wolf the movie. So much like Peter, he can take damage, but again is not very durable. So durability is going to be a tie here between the two of them.
And the battle continues.
For endurance, I gotta give the advantage to Peter here. Peter was able to fight everyone in Codebreaker, mainly Scott and Derek, without getting tired. Meanwhile, Derek was knocked out of commission for a bit, and Scott was just starting to show signs of tiring and fatigue after fighting Peter for a while. In his beast form, Peter was fighting all the way up until he got set on fire and died from the Molotov cocktail that Styles threw at him, and then Allison shot her arrow and blew the whole thing up and it set him on fire and he died. And then on Derek's end, Derek has very good endurance as well, but we've seen that if he takes too much damage, he can get tired and feel fatigue pretty quickly. In his evolved state, which is the form of Derek we're talking about in this specific video, it's much more improved, but I still think Peter's is far more superior. So the edge is gonna go to Peter here.
Let's keep it up!
For combat experience, this is going to go to Derek 100%. Peter doesn't fight nearly as much as Derek, and when he has, it's not the same amount of opponents as Derek has fought throughout his time in the show and even Teen Wolf the movie. Peter likes to mainly stay back and not get involved if he can in most conflict. We see this mostly when he comes back to life in season 2, as he didn't really get involved with the Kanima stuff that much, and he didn't really get involved with the Alpha Pack physically either. He really only showed up like once Deucalion was out of the picture and once Jennifer Blake was out the picture, but there is an inverse reason for this. He was trying to regain his power and regain his strength after being revived from the dead, so it makes sense why he tried to stay out of these fights as much as he could, even though we do see him fight a little bit, but it's not as much as Derek. Derek, on the other hand, has fought way more impressive opponents over time than Peter, such as the Nogitsune, the Kanima, the pretty much most of the Alpha Pack, primarily Kali, because Kali was like his main rival for the entirety of Teen Wolf Season 3 Part 1. It was more so Ennis for like the first couple episodes, but once Ennis died, it definitely became Kali for sure. He also fought Deucalion, even though he got pretty much destroyed. He fought Kate Argent, damn near killed her when he first became an evolved werewolf. Has fought Berserkers and was the only one to put up a good fight against them in the entirety of Season 4. And he also fought the Oni in both Season 3 and Teen Wolf the movie, and as well as numerous assassins throughout all of Season 4, and fought Monroe's army in Teen Wolf Season 6 Part 2. So combat experience definitely goes to Derek here. Some people can try to make an argument for Peter, but I don't really think it's that arguable. I think combat experience for sure goes to Derek 100%.
Pull out all the stops! Who will emerge victorious?
Now, experience, on the other hand, definitely goes to Peter. He's lived longer than Derek and is his uncle, and pretty much taught Derek almost everything he knows about being a werewolf. On the other hand, for Derek learned most of what he knows from his mother and Peter, so I'm pretty sure experience has to go to Peter here without a doubt, and I don't think that's even arguable either.
It all comes down to this. This is the last round.
Now, last but certainly not least is hacks, and in my opinion, this goes to Peter for sure. Peter's beast form is far more impressive and should naturally be stronger than Derek's just wolf form, which we know doesn't give him any added boosted advantages. He pretty much runs like a normal wolf. He doesn't get any speed boost, he doesn't get any power boost as far as I'm aware, or as far as it's ever been like confirmed. It's never been confirmed that he does. So Peter's beast form, we literally see on screen that it gives him a pretty substantial advantage in fighting people and just overall as a whole, as compared to if Peter was just in his normal human form. It's why we see him in his beast form most of the time in season 1. Most of the time we see Peter, he's in that beast state of his because it gives him a huge advantage over his opponents in size, speed, strength. I mean, this could have been added to the strength portion, but the dude was literally able to lift Derek up whole, and pretty much, I don't know how Derek survived that. He had blood gushing out his mouth. They made it literally seem like the dude died. He literally picked him up with one hand. That's probably the second most impressive strength feat from any creature physical. It's even more impressive than the strength feat of Deucalion holding up Jennifer Blake and Derek, because with that, Deucalion did it with 2 hands, and even though it's in his human form, which is kind of impressive, or not really human form, but his beast state, which is more human-like, it's very impressive. But in this, I think it's even more impressive because of how high he was able to lift Derek up. Like, Derek was literally floating in the air while Peter was piercing his back. And like I said, I don't know how Derek survived this. If he didn't have plot armor, he should have died right here. But yeah, hacks definitely goes to Peter. Now, I'm not gonna slight Derek either. We're gonna give Derek his props. So this is more likely a tie more than anything, but I'll leave it up to you guys in the comments down below. We've only seen Derek use his wolf form once, so it's not like he uses it all the time, and it's far less impressive than Peter's beast form because we've only seen 1 feat in this form that he has, and it's him nearly killing Kate with a few bites. And the size difference is the biggest detriment to Derek here, because Derek gets, like, once again, like I said before, no additional power boost or any boost period as far as we know in his wolf form, unlike Peter. Hax is more like a tie, I guess, but I'm leaning more so towards Peter here, but I'll leave it up to you guys in the comments down below to make up your minds on that portion here. And we've reached this video's conclusion. The winner is Alpha Peter Hale. Sorry, Derek.
You lose!
Finish him.
Fatality.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, as it helps this video perform better in the YouTube algorithm and reach more people. Comment your thoughts on this video below. I go through all the comments, so any feedback is appreciated. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, consider making today that day. And when you subscribe, don't forget to hit that bell icon and set those notifications to all so that you never miss a future video. Also, don't forget to join my Discord server linked below. All my socials are linked in the description too. And until next time, this is Jades Corner, signing off. Peace. And now, a quick sneak peek and tease for the next Fantasy Fights video.